Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2 and the last one on this part. All we like to do, and this is so easy, I should have just added it to the other video. All we need to do is get this scoop out part that evidently is going to go around like a, I don't know, he's making like brackets for car parts. And all we really need to do is take an ellipse. And if you had a picture, photograph, or a drawing, even so rough, of this part, hold down the control button and make a perfect round object, an ellipse, and just squeeze it up in there. Now, I would assume that this doesn't really matter perfectly, but we're going to try to make it perfectly. Holding down the shift key so it'll grow from the inside. And then set your nudge factor on something really low and bring that in and down. And we're pretty much dead on. Now, how do we transfer this new hole to that hole? This is all grouped together. This is not. This is all grouped together, or if not, we're going to make sure it's grouped. We can actually transpose that on top of that one. And then take the Smart Fill tool and fill that away. I move my left arrow key. I need to change it back to like 9 inches. So, it actually Smart Filled that little part. So let's back up here. Let's do this. We don't need, this is his drawing. I'm going to go up to Object and ungroup it, and I'm going to take away all these parts. We know they work. Then this is all grouped together still. Just bring it over. If you grab a node, it'll actually snap to that other node, and you just visually see it. Then take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. You're going to pretty much have to do that anyway. Now this time I nudged it, but I'm not going to have to nudge it back, so I can just move it out of the way. And then left click, right click in plasma cutting, make sure it's a hairline. And there's your part. Now the original question from the very first video that actually named something else, he wanted to know how he could round off these corners. We'll very easily take the shape tool. You could actually do both of them at once. Hold down the shift and grab both those. Well, it's intermittently, we have to grab one at a time. Go to Windows, Dockers, Corners, and remember we did a 1/2 inch radius. Then grab this one, 1/2 inch radius, and you're basically through. Now, to clean this up, plasma cutting is a no-no with nodes. You could get rid of those 2 nodes. You might even be able to get rid of one more. Nope, it'll make a line. The less node you have, the better off you are. And if you'll watch, this time I'm going to take out the arrow. The arrow is going to move to the other side. Now, it should be a perfect circle still. I've got to go to Object, break the curve apart. We've got a 0.375 by 0.375. Delete those 2 nodes. Now we have a 0.375 by point. So that's an option. You're never going to get a perfect hole with a plasma cutter. I mean, not that small a hole perfect. My suggestion is to do what I just did, and then to drill that hole out with a 3/8 inch bit and make it more perfect, or leave it like it is. But the other nodes on the outside that don't really matter, we've got some nodes we don't need. There's some double node right there. Starting at the cut, and I guarantee we can get rid of one of those nodes. Well, it did change the part. So in this case, there's a double node we can get rid of for sure. Hit delete. Didn't change the part. Just kind of, you'll learn kind of the further off you are from the item, the more you can see the double nodes. Didn't change it. So now, that's a pretty good part. This might not change it. That didn't change it. That didn't change it. The less node you have, you've got to have these two nodes because that's what's making your corners round. You can't take away this one because you mess up your part. But the less amount of nodes you have, the better. I guarantee we can get rid of those two nodes. We can probably get rid of that corner node. We can get rid of that end node. So now we only have, whenever you want to count all your nodes, you have to select everything, then get your shape tool. Well, we got 6 objects that are all separated, so we need to group them together, but now we won't be able to read the node. But that's how I would draw that part. Anyway, hope that helped. Thank you for watching.